Well, I'll ask the question everybody wants to know. This team turns it around, goes to a bowl game, gets it, I'll point to you. You handle it?
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm good for it. I've always been a guy that embraced the good and the bad. I mean, the adversity, it all comes together, and I mean, at the end of the day, whether we lose a game, win a game, the thing's pointed at me. It starts with me. So if I can be the same guy each and every day, come in with my energy and bring my best game each and every day, I feel like the guys gonna follow. The guys gonna bring their best game. So I'm excited for whatever comes.
What's been the key from the day you walked in to now? Guys said you learned the playbook quick, you showed your work ethic, you became a leader. What's been the key to establishing that in really kind of a short amount of time for you being here?
Honestly, for me, before I even got in the portal and I announced, well, after I got in the portal and I announced that I was coming here, it was about me, just praying about it and just making sure I'm the best version of myself every day, being consistent. As long as I'm the same person every day, which everything you said, that's me as a person anyways. I'm a guy that loves the game. I'm gonna do everything possible to make sure I'm the best player I can be, the best person I can be. And at each and every room I walk into, I try to touch everybody. I try to be that energy. I try to be that, when guys not having the best days, you can look at me and you can feel my presence. So for me, that's really about all it's been for me, honestly.
Play comes in, it's an RPO. Take us through your pre-snap read. What are you looking at before the ball's even snapped?
On the RPO, it just depends on the RPO. Could be a slot RPO or outside wide receiver RPO. Got to make sure there's no pressure because everybody knows when there's pressure on the RPO, you got to read the blitzer. Could be rotation, depends on who it is. It could be an apex defender or overhang defender. Could be, if it's to the boundary, it could be a corner cat. And that safety get off the hash, you could have a big window right there. So it just depends on the RPO.
Gerry, what have the emotions of the last 24 or 48 hours been like? You're named the starter, Timmy leaves, you're moving forward. How have you weathered that, and where are you guys, boom, you're full speed ahead moving forward now?
I mean, everybody know we're 3 weeks out. We can't blink. That's been the thing. I'm just not blinking. I mean, for me, I became a starter, but for me, I've always prepared as a starter every day. I always want to feel like a starter every day. I want to be a starter every day. So for me, nothing has changed. I'm just continuing to be me. Be a little bit more vocal. Make sure I'm even more energetic, more locked in, things like that. But honestly, just continue to be myself.
What was your reaction when Jeff told you were the starter?
I looked at him. I smiled. I'm always smiling. I smiled, and the first thing I said, "Thank you. I really appreciate it. Just for the opportunity, it's a blessing. A lot of guys want to be in this position. I'm as a starting quarterback for top tier program. For me, I was just honestly just excited and blessed. Like, kind of held my emotions in, but I know that when I got home, I called my parents. They were excited about it, so it was like a accomplishment for me, a big one.
What was that call like?
A lot of smiles, a lot of excitement. We prayed. Really, that's it. It was just all excitement, honestly.
Obviously now, Travis will get the number 2 job and Byron probably behind him. Just what have you seen out of those 2 guys in particular and how they've improved?
I can honestly say from the summertime when I got here, those 2 guys, when we live together, we work out together, those guys have been on it each and every day. Those guys, we push each other to prepare every day, no matter, it's not a QB1, a QB2, a QB3, it's about developing each other, pushing each other, and make sure we're all ready, because everybody knows you will snap away from playing. So just looking at those guys each and every day, going out there with them, I'm just excited for the growth that they're having, the growth that I'm having, and the way they're pushing me and the way I'm pushing them. I love those guys. They all know that, and we're going to continue to get better as a group.
So when anybody comes into a new situation or a new job or whatever, that you have to feel their way in. But the guys were saying there's been many occasions where you've spoken to the team and you haven't been here that long, and they listen to you and you speak. Do you just have a confidence in you that allows you to do that sort of thing?
I would say that's what it is. I'm very confident. I know what I do every day. I know my abilities. I know I know the confidence I have in myself and my game. If you look at me every day, you're like, that's how it's supposed to be done. Like, I want to be, when people look at me, that's what I want to be. So it's like once you see a guy that's doing it consistently every day, he's outdoing what the standard is. He's outdoing what's mandatory. He's just doing extra. I feel like you have to have respect for a guy. Like, for me, I don't care what position you play, whether you're a kicker or my top receiver, whatever it is, my top O-line, whatever it is. Like, once you see a guy that's a walk-on, once you see a guy he's really working, he earns that right. He has that respect. So I'm even the guy. I'll speak up a lot, but I sit up and listen. Somebody tell me something like I got one of the quarterbacks, Travis, told me I walked off the field the other day. I went back and ran off the field. Just things like that, like just being the standard and set and leading by example.
Coach Miranda had a lot of good things to say about you even after the transfer. It sounded like the whole, process. He was very transparent with you guys with kind of how things ended at Baylor. Almost gave you one writer said gave you nearly like a 4 months head start to kind of figure out your next plans. What can you say about Coach Miranda and just kind of the ending of your time at Baylor and transitioning here from maybe the Baylor perspective of it all?
I would say it was exactly how that said. That's how it went. They gave me a good heads up of everything to let me be able to make a decision. Much respect for the program. Much respect for Coach Miranda. I mean, he's an amazing coach. I mean, love him to death. He helped me out in a lot of situations. Full support. I'm pretty sure I still support them. They still support me. There's no. I mean, this the game. The game we play, so it is what it is at this point.
He said, a quote that stood out to me was he said there is no Baylor in what happened last year without Gerry Bohanon. Just, how much does that, that sentiment just how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel good. Makes me feel appreciated. I know last year stepping into that, I had been a backup for a while. Stepping into that role was just becoming to myself, really opening myself up to the team, opening myself up to the guys, and just trying to be the best me every day. Like I said, trying to do the same thing here. Just to hear that, just to know that, that's exciting. To hear that from a head coach. Coach Miranda is a special guy, special coach. Everybody know that. So much respect for him in that program, and much respect for that.
So your Baylor team a couple years ago won 2 games and then turned it into 12 in the championship. I know you've looked at probably last year here, won 2 games. The talent that's here. Kind of turn around, happen again, that you've already experienced.
Yeah, that's what we're looking forward to. But it first starts off at practice, 1% every day. We get 1% better every day. That'll add up. 365 days in a year. That's a lot of percent. And so I would say, honestly, just for us, just coming out, put our best foot forward every day. You don't want to live life and look too far ahead. For me, it's literally one play at a time, one day at a time. And if we can live right there and be where our feet are, I feel like everything's gonna shake out of place. We can't. Yeah, everybody from Florida got these rival games playing UCF, Florida, but you gotta focus each and every day at a time. If you don't get better today, you can't expect to be on point and play your best game 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now. So you just gotta stack days, and when you stack those days, it all shake out how you want it to shake out.
What do you think about what you got here? Mangum, Jimmy Horn, Weaver, the line. Just when you look at your offense. What you plugged into here? What do you got?
When I look at my offense, I see like an instant cool down, because it's like there's so much firepower. Like the wide receiver room loaded, O-line room loaded, the running backs room loaded. I mean, for me, it's just get the ball into their hands. It's not making this crazy play. Get them the ball, they gonna make the play for me. I mean, as a quarterback, that's all you can ask for. Like they make my job so much easier. Those guys motivate each other, motivate me, and I mean. You see them some competitive guys out there. I mean, they love the game of football. They're gonna play the game of football to the best of their ability, and that's all you can ask for. I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm excited every day going out there with them. Like, we're excited as a team. We're excited as a unit, and so that's all I say. Just excited about everything that comes with the offense.
It seems like you light the fire under everyone, going out to practice and everything, and being that leader. But who is that person to you?
They like fire me up.
Yeah.
I would say my mom first off, and I got a son. I got a 3-year-old son named Caden. That's what makes me go every day. Just being able to look at him every day. No matter what kind of day I have, always come home to that same face, that same smiling face. For me, I have to do it for him. My mom, before I had him, my mom saw her do a lot of things and never complained. My mom works her tail off to this day. Been working since she was like 13. I mean, how can I complain? I wake up every day like I work my mom today, because I know my mom getting up 4:30 in the morning to make sure everything. She's a principal, make sure everything's in line with school. Called her last night. She was just not leaving the schoolhouse. It was 9:30. My mom, what you doing? You need to get home, get you some rest. You don't need to be driving that late on the road. So for me, her and then my son, that makes me go every day.
Gerry, what has impressed you the most about your teammates in the program so far?
what has impressed me the most, I would say, honestly, well, I saw the talent on film, but the talent level is very, 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 very high. Like, these guys can play anywhere. And I've saw a lot, these guys can play anywhere. And then just how everybody welcomes each other and loves each other. I would say, like, it really feels like a brotherhood. Like, everybody here, we're close. We hang out with each other during the times we can. I mean, we outside of football, we kicking it. I remember my first weekend here, my first week, as soon as I got here on like a Wednesday or Thursday. That weekend, I moved from Texas, I'm from Arkansas. A couple guys invited me out to get on the boat, never been on the water. Then I'm catching a shark, never had a shark. I mean, just that, I knew once that happened, I picked the right place. I felt very welcome, I felt at home, and that just was a great feeling for me, honestly.
Whose boat was it?
Oh, we rented it.
Okay.
We rented the boat. A couple guys here on the dry boats and things like that. So.
Who'd you go out with?
It was Bino, Jimmy Horn, Zay, Vincent, Yates. Who else? There's a lot of us. There's quite a bit of us. I feel like I'm missing somebody though. It was a couple more.
Where'd you go? You're not sure?
I don't even know. I just know it's probably like 50 minutes away.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't in Orlando though, but
You caught a shark?
I ain't catch it.
Oh,
Jimmy did.
Jimmy.
Jimmy did. I touched
You
it.
catch
but I
it
ain't
in it?
catch it. Did I?
Yeah.
I stayed back. I mean, I fish, but we was out there last time I went kind of out there in the water fishing like that. I kind of got sick, so I was trying to avoid that. To be honest with you.
So it seems like from that point on, things have only just continued to get better and better in the relationship with their teammates.
That's it. It's getting better and better every day, and that's all you can ask for. I mean, I'm appreciative for that. I can't ask for anything else but that, and I try to make sure that I'm doing what I can to help develop those guys on and off the field, be whatever kind of leader and whatever kind of influence I can be in anyone's life.
Are you the one to, I know you say you get 1% better every day. Are you the one to set season goals or team goals? Like, what's your goals this year?
I write all my goals down. Honestly, I want to have 40 total touchdowns this year, at least 2,000 passing yards, and at least 1,000 yards rushing are my goals, and to win the conference as a team. I want a lot of guys on the team to be All-Americans after the season. A lot of guys put up a lot of yards. That's pretty much it.
That'd be a good year.
A great year. They succeeded. It's been better than that.
Last time you were talking about how you and Timmy were, instead of a competition, you guys were pushing each other to be better and get better. What was the interaction like between you guys after finding out the news of you starting and him entering the portal?
Honestly, it was late at night when we found out, just because we had meetings and everything. Kind of talked to both of us individually. After meetings that night broke, I didn't get to see him after, but there was no bad blood or anything. I'm pretty sure. I mean, everybody knows how the way this game works, how the position works. Something happens. I mean, I was just in that position. I mean, it's a tough decision, but sometimes you have to think about what's best for yourself, what's best for your career. So, fully supporting that guy. I'm pretty sure he's fully supporting us in this team.
You played
heard,
BYU.
I
How
did.
much of an advantage do you think you have now, being the only one in this program who's played them and going and playing opening day?
I would say that's the advantage, just because I know some of those players, how they look, their scheme. Pretty sure they're gonna come up with some different things, but for the most part, I've studied them quite a bit. Just looking forward to playing them. To be honest with you, I'm excited about playing those guys. I think it's an advantage. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do something different. I mean, a new offense, a different offense, schematically is different. So I would say those guys, it's gonna be something different about it. So just gonna have to prepare like I haven't played them, honestly.
Have you heard from Blake Shapen over at?
Blake Shapen?
Yeah.
I talked to him a minute ago. It's been a while. I talked to him a minute ago. He congratulated me and everything. Once I announced that I was going to come here and everything, but that was the last
Nothing
time.
since you've been announced, because he was announced yesterday.
No, nothing. Nothing since.
Thank you, Gary.
No problem.
Thank you very much.